It's tool time, and today we're going to take a quick look at Hornby's new Build a Layout tool set. The big question is, can you actually build a layout with the contents of with the contents of this box? Let's have a look. It's quite a nice plastic case. I'll give them this. It's actually quite a very sturdy, well, reasonably sturdy, and fine for storing your tools in afterwards. And we open it up, and I'll give them this. It's nicely presented. The tools are in there in foam, so they're nice and secure. The only problem, I guess, is that you can't easily add to it, but I suspect the foam would come out. You could chuck that away and just use this as a perfectly normal toolbox. I think you've got to look at these sort of sets and say, this is a beginner's item. It's for somebody who's very new to the hobby, and it's to get them started. Because, people like me, we've got loads and loads of tools, and far too many tools, if I'm honest. But somebody starting, well, they're sitting there going, and they're scratching their head every time they have to do something. So let's see what's in the box. We've got some track pins, some Hornby track pins. Yeah, that's all very well. We've got handily, because we've got track pins. We've got a hammer, nice little hammer. Seems good and solid, actually. My head's not loose in any way, and it's held in with a scotch. That's all good. Yeah, it's nicely balanced. The handles perhaps slightly square for my taste, but yeah, we've got a hammer, and you're going to need a hammer. Everybody's going to need a hammer for future use. We've got some pliers, some needlepoint pliers with wire cutters in there as well. I'll be honest, I'm looking at them, seeing how they close up and thinking they're not the best pliers in the world. But they're not bad pliers either. Certainly, they're perfectly serviceable. They seem nicely made. So yes, they'll do the job for they'll do the job initially, and they're the sort of thing that you might well replace later on when you find a better set. But I'll be honest, I've got loads and loads of pairs of pliers, and some of the cheaper ones still do perfectly good service. Here we have a pin pusher. So if we're going to push the track pins into our baseboard, what we do is we take a track pin and we put it into the end of the pin pusher. Then we push it into the baseboard, push the handle down, and I think hopefully you can see that the pin is ejected and pushed into the baseboard. The idea being that you take your bit of track and handle the other piece here. You drill some holes where the pin should go, and then you put the pin in and you push down like that. Okay, you push down like that, and what it does is it pushes the pin in to save hammering away. Now, you may say, why have we got a pin pusher and a hammer, Phil? Well, to be fair, they're both useful, but they're both very useful bits of kit. And I've always been a hammering my pins in type person. Some people prefer pin pushers. They're certainly better if you're going to be working around point work, because you can be a lot more accurate and you're less likely to whack the nail. And then finally in the set, and this was the big surprise when I first looked at it, a pair of track cutters. But not just any pair of track cutters, a pair of Xuron track cutters. Now, Xuron track cutters are your gold standard of rail cutting devices. I've worn out more than a couple of pairs of them, and I still go back and buy them because they're very, very good. Here we are, one piece of rail, and there we go, track cut. Nice neat end on there. I don't know if you can see that properly, but it's nice and neat and square. Again, do that. It's a good idea when using these to wear some sort of eye protection, because the bits of rail do fly off in all sorts of directions. But those are good. Those are really nice tools. So, whilst I might be a bit scathing about the pliers, that's a top quality tool. Thank you very much. And then we finish up with a sanding pad, 600 and 1000 grit. I'm assuming that they're working on the basis that you would clean the ends of your track up with it, which is fine. It's a nice little sponge-based sanding pad. Two reasonably useful grit sizes on there, but possibly that's the sort of thing that will wear out. let's be honest, of all the tools in there, that's going to wear out the fastest, so you may well find yourself replacing it. And I'm not entirely sure, because you've got the excellent track cutter, I'm not quite sure what you use it for in so many ways. But there we have it, a quick run through of the Hornby layout building set. Question is, can you build a layout? No, you can't build a layout with it. There's no saws, there's no big hammers, there's no drills. If you want to build baseboards, forget it. This is the wrong toolkit. What it is a very nice track laying toolkit, especially for the raw beginner. The sort of person for whom Hornby track pins are exactly what they want, because they're a bit chunky and they go in really, really well. Pico ones, probably a good deal more subtle, but they're a bit of a pig to use. Those will get you laying your train set really, really quickly. So, do I like it? Yeah, actually, I think I do. I think that what lifts it is the Xuron track cutters. That's the best tool in the box. But what you've got is a very nice box, perfect as a present for somebody who's new to the hobby. You could give them this, and all the tools in there are useful, and they will be useful for years to come as well. This is a building block for a layout builder, and you know, gets them up and running, and gets them building their train set, which is the most important thing. Once you've laid some track, let's face it, that's when the fun really begins. So, do I like it? Yes, I do. I think it's a very nice set. It's very useful. There's no absolute rubbish in here, and there's some very, very good stuff. Very, very good stuff indeed. Perfect for beginner. Just the right sort of thing as a present as well. Happy modelling.